Hey guys, welcome to the show Maraha, and today we're going to have a look at the 4 likely lads. What I mean by that is your 4 regular everyday trainers that I have over the last little while. So we're looking at the Nike Pegasus 38, we're looking at the Asics Cumulus 23, we're looking at the New Balance 880 V11, and we're looking at the Hoka Mach 4. Also we're looking at the Brooks Ghost 14. So first up, because these are all neutral everyday shoes, a lot of people are going to be using orthotics with these shoes. So the first thing we're going to look at in all of them is the heel cup. So let's look at the Asics Cumulus 23 first. So we have a very stout heel cup in the Asics shoe. So this shoe will be an excellent choice for someone with an orthotic, okay? Secondly, we look at the Brooks Ghost 14, which also has a very secure, solid heel cup in it. So they're two really good choices for people with an orthotic. Next, we're going to look at the New Balance 880. Now, it's reasonably stout, but not as stout as the previous two models, okay? It has just at the bottom of the heel cup, it has this plastic ring around here, which will work well with an orthotic, but the other two shoes are just slightly above it in that aspect. So next we're going to look at the Hoka Mach 4. Now the Hoka Mach 4 has a reasonably good heel cup as well. It's nice and solid there, and the way the sole rides up on the side, the orthotic would actually work quite well with that as well. Lastly then we're going to look at the Nike Pegasus 38, which for me would be bottom of the pile in regards using an orthotic. Now the heel cup is actually quite sturdy, but compared to the other shoes just doesn't come up to the standard of the other shoes regards an orthotic. The next thing we're going to look at is the tongue in the shoe. So the Hoka has reasonable tongue. I'd be happy enough with that. It's not particularly thick or thin, it's somewhere in the middle. Now the Nike then would have a thicker, more padded tongue, so that's what I like. Also has a little pull tab there as well, I like that. Now we're talking Asics, really padded, nice soft tongue, really nice. New Balance generally have a thicker tongue, and this 880 doesn't let me down. This is the thickest so far out of what I've felt, thickest and plushest. Oh, then we have the Ghost. On a par with the 880, no better, no worse. Now, the tongue on the 880 is a little bit wider. This guy is a little bit narrower just at the top. Shouldn't really be an issue, but just something to note. Now, let's look at the uppers in the shoes. So with the Hoka, it's reasonably thick. It feels quite durable. And from my experience of running in the shoe, it breathes really well. Now the Nike has a much thicker upper. It's like a double mesh upper, so when you feel inside you can actually pull it apart. You can feel two different layers to the upper, okay? So it's a sturdier upper, a more durable, harder wearing upper than in, say, the Hoka. Then in the Asics Cumulus, it's back to a single layer mesh upper. Same thing again, it's slightly thicker than the Hoka, feels a little bit more durable than the Hoka. Now in your Nike, same thing again, it's like a double layered mesh upper. Can't quite pull them apart, but you can feel it. It's like a jacquard's mesh upper, quite durable I'd say as well, because I put a good few miles on these, and even though they're a little bit snug on me, there's no sign of my toe coming through. Then in your Ghost 14, same thing again, it's like that double mesh upper, very durable, very breathable as well though, plenty of aeration through the upper. So all in all, out of the 4 shoes, I'd say the Hoka probably has the least durable upper mesh, but that comes back to when we look at the weight of the shoe. The Hoka is noticeably lighter than all of the other shoes, and when you go for lighter you have to lose it somewhere, okay? Next thing we look at is the outsole of the shoe. So as you can see on the Brooks, just here is the only DNA loft that is exposed. The rest of the shoe then is covered with their outer grip. Now you have 1, more or less 2, 3 flex screws under the ball of the foot. So that segmentation will give you a reasonable amount of flexion there. So that heel to toe transition will be smooth enough. Now the Brooks DNA loft is quite soft, so that will help with the heel to toe transition as well. So when you wear this shoe, even though it's a neutral shoe, there's plenty of stability in it, but it's still quite smooth heel to toe. Now the flex groove in the New Balance 880, you just had the 2 flex screws, but what you have in the 880 is a dual density midsole, so softer in the heel and slightly firmer through the midfoot. Now this is what I like in a brand. It gives you comfort, cushion, but a bit of performance as well. So because there's slightly less flex screws here and it's slightly firmer under the ball of the foot, when you want to do faster running, this guy will actually perform better than some of its other competitors here. That's what I like in a shoe, a bit of versatility. The Nike, same thing, very little flex screws. What you also have is in the under the ball of foot, you have your AirPod. So this shoe as well is designed for a bit snappier, bit faster when you want to run fast, but still plenty of cushion and comfort. Now Asics has been the surprise for me this year in regards all-round shoe. Previous editions of this shoe up to 22, say 19, 20, 21, absolute stinkers. Big blocks on your feet, really stiff, not that hugely comfortable, extremely durable, like, you know, bomb-proof type shoes, but you get it new, there'll be a lot of breaking in on it. Never really a joy to run in. Whereas 22, they started to get their act together now. 23 for me is a fabulous shoe. It's a shoe that I've done a huge amount of running in since I've got it. Out of all of these 5 shoes, this will be the go-to shoe for me. Part of that reason is the flexibility in the whole of the shoe. You see all those grooves, see how flexible that is, so that heel to toe transition is absolutely fabulous. But what Asics also do with the gel is they have a gel pod here under the first metatarsal where most of the stress and strain lands when you come through onto the ball of your foot. So even though there's plenty of flex here, it's really lovely and cushioned and true off the toe. It's really nice, snappy as well. So I've been doing a huge amount of running in this shoe. Then with the Hoka, you have a huge amount of segmentation. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now generally with Hoka, with the Meta Rocker design, you get a smoother heel to toe because of the Meta Rocker. But something like the Mach 4 doesn't have as much of a Meta Rocker design in the shoe. It's designed more like a traditional shoe. The kicker for this is the Pro Fly, which is really soft and bouncy but really light at the same time. So to adjust for the lack of rocker in this shoe, that's why they have that little bit more segmentation in the shoe. Let's just have a look at versatility in the shoe to see if you're looking for a particular thing in the shoe, which one might suit you the best. Okay, so first we look at the Hoka Mach 4. Now I know for a fact that this is the lightest out of all the 5 shoes because it's the lightest by a fair margin. Comes in, as far as off the top of my head, comes in around 250 grams. For me, the Mach 4 is a very snappy, fast running shoe. So if you're looking for an everyday trainer and you're looking for a little bit more cushion and comfort, it would be the Hoka Clifton 8 would be more appropriate shoe for you. But if you're looking for something for doing, say, track sessions or maybe tempo runs in and then can cross over into a shoe that you could do a long run in, the Hoka Mach 4 would be an excellent choice. If you're the type of runner that wears a max cushion shoe for training and you're looking for something to do, maybe do a bit of racing in, do your park runs in, the Hoka Mach 4 would also be an excellent choice for you. So we've got the Nike Pegasus next. So weight wise, off the top of my head, we're looking at 310 grams. Now most of these everyday trainers are going to come in around that just over 300 grams. Anything under 300 grams is really good, and under say 320 is between 300 and 320 is your typical. Now the bounce in the React foam with the AirPods in this guy is really nice. So as regards like a comfort shoe for long runs, fantastic. Plus, it has the added bonus of being a snappy shoe when you want it to be. So when you want to come off the midfoot, off the toe, the Nike Pegasus works really well. This really is Nike's all-rounder that kind of does a bit of everything for you. The winner for this guy is the price range. So all the other shoes come in at the 140 mark, whereas this guy comes in at a 120 mark. That's in euros now. It's cheaper by a noticeable amount. And regards like the amount of durability, amount of mileage you're going to get out of it, it's more or less pretty similar to the other shoes. You might even get more miles out of this than some of the other shoes. So price wise, it's the best value shoe, but as regards its versatility, it's extremely versatile. Next we have the New Balance 880. Now the New Balance 880 will be a favorite of mine going back a couple of years. I've had a couple of 880s over the years, a couple of 860s as well, which is the stability version. I kind of switch between a bit of neutral, a bit of stability. But the one thing I've always noticed with the New Balance is they actually hold up really well in regards to durability and the wear and tear on the shoes. Generally the shoe will be beat and it'll still look in really good condition. The versatility in this guy is really good too. Quite like the Nike Pegasus, that type of shoe that you could go and do a 20-mile run in, no problem. But if you want to go do a track session or a tempo run in, this shoe will actually perform really well in that as well. It covers all bases for you. Slightly more expensive though than the Nike Pegasus, coming in at 140 euros. The Brooks Ghost, the big guy, the most popular, the best seller, the one that everyone looks for, the one that people come in and say, oh, my friend is wearing the Brooks Ghost, I want the Brooks Ghost. Over the years I've had Brooks shoes and I wouldn't be a huge fan of Brooks myself, and the main reason for that is the drop. So it's 12mm drop. All the other shoes are 10 and the Hoka is a 5mm drop. Now generally for me, I like something that's maybe 8 or 10mm. When it goes to the 12mm drop, I really notice the clogginess of the shoe. That's just me. I'm a midfoot striker, but somebody say who's a heel striker will probably appreciate this shoe a lot more than I will. When I put this shoe on, it feels big on my foot, even though it actually, as far as off the top of my head, it comes in at 300 grams, which is an excellent weight for the amount of cushion that it carries. But for me, it just feels big on my foot, feels cloggy. Versatility wise, absolutely brilliant for going doing long runs, but when it comes to maybe doing tempo or track sessions, this shoe is not going to work with you as well as say the Pegasus or the Hoka Mach 4 or the New Balance 880 or the Cumulus. It's just not going to work as well. The way the DNA loft works in the Brooks shoe, it's like a memory foam effect. So when you hit the ground, you actually sink into the DNA loft ever so slightly to come back again. So you'd often hear the term about sloppy or squidgy or too soft being referred to the DNA loft. Like it's a winner when it comes to cushion and comfort, but when it comes to performance, this guy would be bottom of the list. So versatility wise, it just doesn't cut it with the other shoes, okay? My favorite. If you would have said to me a year ago that your favorite shoes would be Asics, I'm loving this guy and I'm loving the Magic Speed as well. I would have laughed, no way. Now I had my interest had been peaked last year with the Cumulus 22 when I had it in my hand and I tried it on and I looked at it and said, no, it's interesting to see the changes that Asics had made in a positive way. So when the 23 was being released, I fancied reviewing it, I fancied getting to try it out, and I didn't regret it for a second. From the minute I put it on my foot, I've absolutely loved this shoe. And funnily enough, of all the reviews I've done, it's probably the one that people have watched the least, I've had the least amount of interest in. Realistically, Asics is not a sexy brand. Compared to the other brands, they're not sexy. They're regarded as a bit staid, a bit old-fashioned, but I think that's all changing. The models of Asics that I've had over the last 12 to 18 months have really, got me enthused about the Asics brand again. But this shoe for me, versatility wise, absolutely fantastic. You want to go out and do a 20-mile run, this guy, absolutely fantastic. You want to pick up the pace in this guy, absolutely fantastic. Weight wise, same thing again, comes in around that 310 grams. That's what you want. It's not too heavy. It doesn't look for lightness to give you more performance, but it gives you everything that you need in regards to cushion, the comfort, and the toe off, the flexibility of the sole. It's a real winner for me, okay? So there you go, guys. That's an overall comparison of 5 everyday neutral trainers, ones that you would hope that could cover all the bases for you. If you want my opinion on what I like, the Asics Cumulus 23 for me comes out way and above the other shoes. I just find it more comfortable, more versatile, and much more fun to run in than the other shoes. Second place, I'd have the New Balance 880. Third place, then I'd have the Nike Pegasus. Fourth place, then I'd have the Mach 4, and I'd have the actual Ghost 14, which is probably the most popular shoe on the market in that range, as the last shoe. And as I explained to you previously, it's more to do with me being a midfoot striker and feeling that the 12mm drop, just don't enjoy it. Never have. I don't think I ever will. But that's just my biomechanics. Now you, like I said, might be different. If you're more of a heel striker, you might appreciate it more. But if you're looking for a little bit more performance with plenty of comfort, I would be looking at the Asics Cumulus 23 and possibly the New Balance 880. Two of them together will be a really nice mix of two different trainers to have in your rotation for that kind of work, okay? Thanks very much, guys. I hope you find that helpful. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Like, share, and if you can, it'd be great if you could subscribe. Thanks very much, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.